Okay. We took it down for a split second, guys. Don't worry. We're back. We're back. Um, make sure we're watching live. There we go. Looks like we got a chatter in there. Live chat. Okay, there. So you guys can see what I see. Hopefully you guys heard me that whole time. So this first sheet here in the spreadsheet, again, this is like the name says, we've got our categories and the subcategories that fall under each. Now, these are just preliminary. Off the top of my head, I couldn't think of any other categories for a bill of materials. Now, this isn't including labor as a category because that's something separate. Okay. So we're just strictly trying to make it for consumables. That's the best way. Things that get consumed after purchase. So we've got components, materials, and software. And the reason that software is here is because if I have to supply any type of USB drive and I'm loading and configuring software on it, we're definitely going to be billing the customer for that. I just don't think it falls under labor. Um, but let's go under components right now. Again, this is all preliminary. I can come back and I'll be able to add to any of these because of the code that we wrote in the app script for Google Sheets will auto-populate these lists for us. The only hard-coded list is these three across the top. We've got a named range. If you've ever used spreadsheets before, named range means we took these three cells and we gave them a name. Okay, now of course there's a bunch of names stuff in here. I didn't add all that. That kind of came with the sheet. But we called those three at the top are called cat or cats because those are the three primary categories. And we need that. And I'm going to show you where we use that at. So if we come over to our inventory master list, this is kind of where the meat and potatoes of this whole spreadsheet book come together. And those named ranges, or that the cats, those are what these drop downs are populated from under the category column. So each of these have a drop down. Now you see down here past row 42 and row 43, there's none there. And that's because we have not gone in and added a data validation to generate the drop down. And to do that, I'll show you manually. You would just hit the data, and it's usually about the same thing in Excel spreadsheets as well. And you're going to find data validation. I think on Excel, just to pull it, I think you have to right click and format the cell to go find data validation. Nope, it's under data tab. So you would do this and then you would hit data validation right here. Same difference, okay? All right. So when we go to data validation, it's going to say, here's the cell B43. Okay. Where do you want to get the drop down from? Do you want to type it in manually and you separate it by a comma, which we could have done? But see, if you do that, if you ever come back and need to add more categories, you would have to change this for every cell. And we don't want to do that. You could do it numbers 1 through 100, text, dates, checkboxes. We're going to do a range. And the cool thing about giving that range on the other sheet a name is you can literally just come in here and say cats, just like that. We don't need to change anything else. And we hit save. And you'll see now we've got our little drop down icon. And look, there's our three categories, just like that. So let's just hypothetically, to show you how easy it is to come back and add another category. Let's say we wanted to make labor a category, right? Labor. Well, what you would do is to include this in the original range called cats, we would come back to name ranges. We would find cats, if I could spell. We're going to edit cats. And then you'll see here, it says A1 through C1, but we got another column now. We've got delta. Now I could physically type in D1, or I could select data range. And all I got to do is drag it across, and look at that, it's updated. So we'd hit OK and save. Done. We can close that. Now let's see if it took effect. If we go back to our inventory master list, am I able to pick that as a new drop? Oh, look at that. Labor's there now. Okay, is labor on these older ones? Oh, labor's on all the old ones. So now if I wanted to include labor as a category on this sheet, I could, just like that, easy updatable. I'm going to undo that because we're not um, we're not including labor on ours. Some of you may want to do that. That's fine. Okay. So we changed it back to C1. Okay. And let's get rid of labor. Now, you'll notice under those categories, we have what I would consider subcategories that a lot of our item list are going to fall under. Okay. I will more than likely be adding more to the components and more to material subcategories in the future. Just off the top of my head, I'm not 100% sure what else I want to add at this time. Stand by. Okay. So, subcategories. Now I'm going to show you exactly what we mean. I don't know off the top of my head. We've got cameras, access points, gateways, switches. Let's go to Unify right quick just to see hardware-wise what else do we have that I would set up. I really don't want to set up VoIP phones right now, so they're not on my list. I can do it. I just prefer not to. Cisco VoIP phones are fairly straightforward if the server's already running. Um, I'm not doing any POTS, manual phone boards, and all that. It would only be VoIP that I would install. Um, what about a full DVR for surveillance? So short of using Unify in a unified DVR, I just listed one of the cameras on there just to fill the category because this is what I would prefer to install for any client because they're all PoE camera devices that can be powered from a switch, meaning all you have to do is run the Cat 5, Cat 6 to it. You don't have to worry about power or splitters or anything like that. I would prefer PoE devices all the way around. However, we can do the standard pigtail cameras, CCTV cameras, and DVRs to go with that. They're a little more pain in the butt to run the cable. The holes have to be a little bit bigger to get those big connectors through. But for right now, we're just going to keep this networking. We're not doing any access stuff just yet. Under network, We've got switches. We've got Wi-Fi, which is access points, right? Um, we didn't put anything in for power. I technically speaking, I guess we could put UPS in for components because uninterrupted power supplies is definitely something in most network racks for businesses that everyone uses. If I can keep this up here, I gotta stop turning my phone on and off. Okay. So UPS, that's an extra subcategory. Gateways, firewalls would be in there as well. I'm not. We want to add that right now? Do we want to add firewall right now? I mean, it is a thing, right? Right? What about fiber? Anything with fiber under components here, guys? Help me think. I am fiber certified, but I have none of the equipment to run fiber, so we're going to leave that off. Firewalls, I haven't personally set me up, so I think I think we'll leave it off right now. What have we got in early access? Anything? Oh yeah, I have to log in to see that. Um, Patch panels. Whoa. Where's my sheet? Components, access points, cameras, gateway, switch. Do we want to put that under MISC? Things like patch panels, or is that? It's not really a component, right? That's more of a raw material, right? Cables, connectors, screws, wall plates. Um, so what do we want to call that category under materials? Patch panels. Let's go to here and see if we can't figure out a name. What would we call it on a Unify site? I'm pretty sure they have a patch panel. Yeah, 24 port with ears and its keystone. Is that all right? Yeah, because you don't want a a punch. Sorry about this, guys. Just distractions here. Um, Patch panel. Um, I think we would put that under rack. I think that's a good category. Rack miscellaneous, right? So let's move wall plates down. Rack misc, right? So that would include things like the rack, um, wood for the rack if we're doing a custom one, ears, maybe rack screws will go in there. Cage nuts, right? Rack nuts could go under rack misc. Um, the shelf. So maybe not misc, maybe accessories. Yeah, rack accessories. Or do we want to leave it misc? They're not really miscellaneous. Yeah, rack accessories. So under subcategories, well, let's see where this is supposed to go. This is under materials. Switch. We need one for UPS. Okay, and we need one for right after screws goes wall plate. I mean, right after screws goes rack accessory. Like that. Okay. So just like that, that's what we've done to go ahead and add just a few subcategories real quick. And just to populate it, we're gonna throw in a SKU or a model. This is a long model name. Just for the hell of it here. Yeah, I thought that might be something. Or some of the names are just gonna be so lengthy on some of these. Let's just make it 220 on all of them. Just trying to leave myself enough space so I don't have to widen these ever again. Okay. So we can call it a SKU, we can call it a model name, whatever. It's all the same here. So that's like a 24 port. We've got some other ones here. Definitely not doing like pass-through type shit. We want keystone, and that's what we're gonna type in. Because we wanna add our own keystones to these. Now, your options, and typically you're gonna want to go with a 1U single unit patch panel with keystones. I kind of looked at this one and I kind of like that you can take them out 5 at a time. I think it's 6 at a time. I kind of like that. So you don't have to undo the whole rack. You know what I'm saying? Like all you've got to do is pop out the sub panel that you need and keep it moving. Let's look at the ratings of this right quick just to see if anyone's got anything bad to say. Works great, great, great. I mean, it's only metal. Minor cosmetic issues. The cable support portion seemed to have many scuffs. Appearance that it may have been used or scratched at the factory. Ah, that's not a big problem at all. So we'll add that. Let's see a video of just how easy it is. Added 2 real quick, slid it back. Whoa, 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 whoa. How dare you use a pass-through? That's just lazy. I like the labels. I like it. Pass-through just seems very, very lazy, and it's adding unnecessary break and make connections. You really don't. You should be crimping those down, punch down into a female RJ45. Um, Aside from that, like you see here in the picture, these are all crimped in like they should be. Um, I like it. Um, see, that's what, a $6 savings to go with a 2-pack. Can we get a model number on this somewhere? Who makes it? EMJ? I'm sure we can find a model number right quick to punch in and, save that. SIN. What is that? EMS. Everest Media Solutions. The hell is it? ASIN though? Oh, are you guys talking and I got you muted? Hold on. Go ahead.
What's up?
Just live streaming this spreadsheet stuff.
Cool.
Pretty lame stuff, yeah. What is it? What is the ASIN number? What the fuck? That one's real iffy, guys. I'm really not. It's not really a model number per se. But I feel pretty confident that's what they're using for a model number. Doesn't seem to really fit any type of naming convention, though. If these people had a website, though, then we could maybe go see more and match that up. Let's see. Patch panels. Yeah, I don't think these guys have a actual site. Oh, there we go. There we go, guys. We're getting somewhere. Category of products. Maybe it's under tools. I didn't think it was going to be under tools. J45s. I feel like everything is going through Amazon. I don't think they sell anything really directly here. Oh. Products. Looks like they might be based out of Israel. Got some Hebrew text here on the products. That seems to be broken. Let's just browse around right quick and see if we can't find anything else. Oh, yeah. Well, for the meantime, it'll have to do as an additional patch panel icon here. So that was 30 bucks for one for a 24 port. Going back to our sheet, scrolling over to the actual line name, pasting just the value, right? So Keystone patch panel, 24 port. Probably something like this. Take out the 24 up front, EMS, Keystone patch panel 24 port. Could probably take out the at. Now we're gonna leave. Shit. We'll leave it at 24p, like that. That's fine for now. And I think that's fine because why not? The price on that was 29, 30 bucks on Amazon. 30 bucks. So if we came over here to our master list and we were to do another material, wait for it to load, and then we go to rack accessories and we wait for it to load. And now we've got the EMS Keystone patch panel 24 port. And you notice there, just a little, boom. And we said that was 29, correct? 29 bucks. 30, I'm sorry. And we should probably be adding like some additional costs here because we're not getting any of this tax free for any of the install stuff. We'll come back and look at that. Should be throwing something in there to account for having to pay taxes on all that. And the Ubiquity one was 20 bucks for a 24 port. Right? So let's just do that so we can see it. Rack accessories. This time we'll pick the Unify one, and that was 20 bucks, like that. Okay. Now let's go back to bill of materials and let's start being able to pull some of this stuff in to the bill of materials items for lookup. So categories, let's go back and look. Categories are going to stay the same. And I think we need, or do we just want subcategories to pop up here? Maybe? We don't want to give them too much information, right? They're like, what's the difference between materials, components, and software? I mean, it really is all material. So I think this column here should just be our index of subcategories, to say the least. A VLOOKUP from bill of materials, B10, inventory master list, F2, D2. Oh, it's saying once you type in the category. But see, we don't want to type anything in, if we can help it. We want to do drop downs for just about all of this. So how many line items do I think we're going to use? And we're going to need, of course, at the very bottom, we'll be using a sign off on this. We'll be using a sign off for the Friendly Neighborhood Geeks, and probably also want to sign off for, do we really need a sign off for the client? for them to okay and be okay with the bill of materials? I don't think they need that because I think if we're doing a quote, a site survey quote, and we attach this page, you know what? We're going to put a place for them to sign anyway, just so they can't say, oh, I don't remember seeing the bill of materials change or whatnot. So better to be safe than sorry. So we're going to add a few more lines. So by doing this, we're going to copy. Hmm. Let's do this. Copy. Insert cell. Shift cells down. Nope. Do it by manual, looks like. That's fine. I don't see us needing more than this on a line item for a bill of materials. I mean, how many is that? That's I know what the sum is. What's the count? They're giving me weird stuff. That's fine. 16. 16 line items. I really shouldn't need more, but I just don't trust stuff. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. That's 20 line items. Let's do a view print page preview. Okay, printing landscape. That's fine. Landscape is fine. And that's going to change a little bit anyway. So then let's add in, can we view the print preview area in this? I didn't think we could. Um, where are they signing? We're going to sign saying that we're not adding any more. Let's undo the format color here to white. Let's do a format now. I know they have alternating, is it alternating colors? Is that where they put it? And there's no header, like that. And that's kind of what you want. We could do it green. Right. Looking good. Beautiful. Okay, just like that. For the total, I feel like total should be dark green. Mm, we're just gonna outline the total. You alright there, Whoop?
I'm gonna go use the restroom. I've never heard of a customer having to sign something though for material listing.
I listen.
Usually they
Look,
don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Right. I know.
That's the reason that they
Listen.
had to hire somebody.
My thing is this. Go use the restroom. When you come back, we'll talk about it. You might be right. Now let's see if this is still counting as a viewer here. Is it Watchtower? Oh yeah, we haven't even added the web top yet, guys. Haven't even added it. Let's do that now though, right? Oh shoot. Look, I don't even know what I'm doing. Don't pay attention to me. Okay. So recently we added a this is Docker now. Should clarify we're in Docker, okay? And we have a web top that is now under Watchtower, okay? And we'll explain what that is in the future. Probably not tonight because I don't think anyone in here knows or cares what a web top is. But we need to figure out where we're going to add it. So first things first, I guess we'll just add it here for now. Web top. So there's new icons. And I know that's what that's called. It's a web top. Subtitle app. I guess it is an app. It's running on port 3000. Might switch that since 2000's right there on uptime. Ubuntu mate. I don't feel like we got to put anything else there. Let's move it since I'm pretty sure it's 3000. Let's move it right under that. Control save. Okay, now if we refresh, we should see it. There it is. And there it is. And we did not pick the right port number there. It is 303. Okay. So let's change that real quick. Grafana, which I had it up here somewhere. Right. It's fine. I can stay where it's at. All right, control save. And refresh. Okay, web top. Boom. Okay, it's here. Should there be a preferences to turn off screen lock? Right? There we go. Okay. I don't know. Hopefully it still counts as a... Oh, did it pause? Probably because I stopped the stream, huh? Abracadabra. Wait, you guys type stuff anywhere? Why am I not seeing it? Or is this from... Oh, that's old. I'm watching an old video there. Here we go. It probably went to that once I stopped last time. I was like, yo, why am I not seeing you guys say nothing? All right, so this should now count as a viewer, and we've turned off the thingamabob. So web top icon, something we've uploaded. Peons, which I guess we can add that now too, even though it's not live. Let's go down to peons because we have an icon for it at least. So peons, items, copy, drop this down, tab it in, and we'll call it, I guess peons again, right? And the icon is peons. And this is React dashboard. No port number. And blank is fine. Okay. So when we refresh, we should see a very colorful peons icon, just like that. And again, it's not up and running because we don't have a server running or a container running on that just yet. But we do have our icon fully in there. And let me see, there's got to be a way to share this, right? Because who wouldn't want to see share chats here and send, and then back out, back out, back out, full screen me. There we go. Watchtower icon should be changed to Docker as well. Did not think about that. Do that while we've got it open. FA Docker. Like everyone else, Watchtower, you are no different. Zero Soul. This one is not Zero Soul. This is Watchtower Homer. Like so. Stop listening. Beautiful. Docker container, icon, web top, etc., 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 etc. Okay? All right, back to the spreadsheet now that we've made sure the web top is Welcome back.
Where did Sean go?
He's Ubering.
Okay.
Well, you know.
What do you dare say? That's what people with jobs do, knowing damn well I have one too.
We're all a little gay on the inside, right?
Yeah.
Let's change the height of this. Row resize. 25. What are you trying to do?
Uncharted.
Is that the movie?
About to buy an Uncharted.
There we go. So now we've got it. We need the categories to populate for our drop down. And from the category, once those categories, technically it's subcategory, right? However, we're not going to call it subcategory here because that's only going to just confuse the end user. I definitely feel like there's not going to be a lookup. Those can have lookups, those are fine. All of this does not need code. Okay. Whoops said I guess Whoops going to take a shit. He said he was going to use the restroom, but I guess he's taking a shit. So how do we get this to populate categories? Short of, I guess we need another named thing, right? Yes. So we need a named range. So we'll go to data, named ranges. It already knows what I have here, so we'll call this subcats. Just like that. And was that from D1 to P1? Whoa, hold on. That feels like it's off. It's because it is. It needs to be from A1. Like such. Okay. So, on bill of materials, we need all of these to be data validated. And that is going to be from subcats. Okay. There you go. Okay. So now we just fill all of these just like that. So here we know he's going to need cable, but we want this to populate just like it does in the other sheet. So clear that out. We're going to go back and edit the formula to monitor for changes of this page. And if it detects a change, it's going to give us a drop down for the name. Let's go ahead and align all these in the center, like so. Names will be aligned in the center. Everything else is looking pretty decent.
Got an AK skin finally.
So let's go look at the code. Okay, right now on edit, we're grabbing a bunch of stuff only for that one sheet, right? What we're gonna do is we're gonna come down. First, let's get some comments in here, right? Let's not be trash with our code. So let's gonna say conditional for what list is that first one? Conditional Okay, and then we're going to copy that down for the second conditional, which is subcategory on master list. Now we're going to put a third conditional which is going to take care of the bill of material. Okay, and we will switch all of this to, that might be right. That might be right, but we need to change the active sheet here, guys. So the active sheet name is bill of materials, right? We're lazy, so we're just gonna copy everything because we don't type it in. So if active sheet is bill of material, what column are we in? We are in column 1, 2, 3. If we have a change in column 3, right, and we want data set 2, which is the subcategories. So just for shenanigans, I'm pretty sure that's all we had to do. If we come in here and say access points, we get a drop down, and there's our access points. So there it is. So now the bill of materials is a dynamic drop-down responsive sheet. And just so you guys can see, for anyone who wants to come back and look at the app script here that we're running, so I'll scroll through it and maybe try to explain from what I remember a long time ago. You can change these variable names. So we're getting the active spreadsheet is what we're saying. Once there's an edit triggered on a page, this code runs, or this part of this code runs, okay? So we want to establish what spreadsheet we're on. We've got two variables here which grab the sheet names of our categories and subcategories. That's our like database to make our dropdowns from, okay? Now we want which sheet in the workbook is active, okay? And the reason for that is that's how we eliminate the code from running on sheets it doesn't need to run on, okay? And then we get the active cell from the spreadsheet book that we're in. We need to know, did this edit happen in an active cell that is valid? Because if you select a different cell from a different column, we don't need you to run, okay? And here again, we're getting the spreadsheet. That's the whole book, if I'm not mistaken. Active spreadsheet versus active sheet. Yes, that's correct. That's the whole spread. And here we have get active sheet. So if I'm not mistaken, I think SS, one of these is a redundant variable, just like this sheet isn't being used. I could take that out. I just don't touch it because it's been a long time. I don't care. So we're just going to look at one of the conditionals. Okay. This conditional here is saying if active cell get column, right? So we've obviously an event has triggered because we've edited the sheet. Once that triggers, this code is going to say find out where the cursor is. Okay? And based on where the cursor is, get that column. If that column is equal to column number 2, which columns are from left to right, 1, 2, 3, etc., etc. If we're in column 2, and let's go to the sheet so you guys can see. If we're here in this sheet in column 2 after we make a change from the dropdown, okay, and the active row or the cell is in a row greater than 1, and the reason being is we don't want anything to happen when you change this header. The code should not do anything when you change header names, Okay, so we only want things greater than the first row. Okay. You got an active mic there, Kyle. I'm trying to stream here.
What do you hear?
Probably your fan.
Oh, shut up. 1 second.
So anything greater than 1, and we're adding into that condition the sheet name matches inventory master list. And of course, that is what we've got down here, inventory. So now we're only dealing with this cell in the rows that are greater than 1 on this sheet. What do you want to do? Okay, first things first is we're going to get an active cell and we're going to offset by 1 row, I'm sorry, 1 column. So the first spot is row, the second one is column. So we say go over 1 column from here, and I want you to clear anything in that cell and go ahead and delete any data validation that's in there. And that's very important because if for some reason you change headers and stuff like that and the old data validation is here in this second column, it's just going to be messy. It's just going to, no matter what you pick in the new drop down, it's going to say it doesn't compute with the validation in these cells. So it's very important to delete both the validation and the value that's in the cell. Okay. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to make a array of values. Okay. And what this says is go back to our database, right? This sheet here, the categories. And I want you to go down column 1 of 1 and get the very last item and make values from everything. Okay. And then this is where that second part is too, right? It's making that index of everything. Okay. And what I mean by that is, we'll go back here. So basically, it grabs everything in the column that matches the category. Everything from the first
Yes.
one down to the last. Okay.
Yeah, I bought an AK skin, Sean.
Yeah, I know. I got the email.
Now, this last part here is where we're going to replace anything in column 2. Okay. That's basically what this does. It says if the index, make index, does not equal 0, meaning if you didn't put any, like if you gave this no subcategories, then it's not gonna make a drop down. It has to be greater than 0. Okay. And once that condition is met, after it's made its list of names or values, it's then going to map those and it's going to find that offset, that second column, and it's going to set a validation equal to the rule that we just set, right? Which is basically saying all those names that you added in the range, right? Right here, we got that's our array right there, okay? I want you to make a validation rule based on those names, and then I want you to set the value and set that validation rule in column number 2. So we're not setting the value in the next column. We're only setting the validation, which is the drop down. Okay. So going back to bill of materials, that's exactly what we just added a third if condition that does the same thing that it does on the other sheet, but it does it for this last sheet here based on subcategories in the names that we can pick. So I know on this project coming up, okay, if we go back to cables now, right here, cables. Let me see, gateway, and then cables. Okay. I know we're more than likely going to be doing per foot. Okay. And the number of feet, as I was discussing with Whoop earlier, is more than likely if we're doing data runs from anywhere in the store to the back patch panel, network panel, server cabinet, whatever you want to call it. Most of the time, we're really just guesstimating 75 feet per run. Are they all going to be 75 feet? No. Okay. But we know on average, the longest run might be 80 foot. Okay. So we're really just cutting it down. We know they're not all going to be there. Now we know the switch that they're using, even though it is not the one that I'm about to pick here. Okay. We know it's a 24 port that they're using. Okay. Of course, we're not billing them for that. I'm just showing you guys. So what are we going to charge them for the Cat 6? Well, if it's 75 foot a run, and we know their switch has 24 ports, even though we're not going to populate all 24 of them, let's say we're only going to do 10 runs. Okay? So 75 feet times 10 lines times 20 cents, because that's what we've priced right here. That's what we've priced it out at, 20 cents a foot. Okay. So going back to how many feet that was 750 feet, right? Now the other part here is we want a VLOOKUP of this on the other sheet to get the unit cost per whatchamacallit. And then we want to multiply the unit cost of 20 cents. So maybe to make it simple, this needs to be the VLOOKUP, right? The bill of materials against the inventory master, where we're matching D5, it says BF. Um, mm, B500. Give me a second. Bill of materials B10. No, we're not trying to look up that. We're trying to look up D10. Okay. I'm almost certain. Yeah, it's on F. Hold on a minute, guys. Hold on. Maybe this is D. Still not putting it in there. Error if. Bill of materials. So here's the first one we're looking at. You're looking up a range to match. Okay. Okay. I don't think we need a range. I think we need. It'll just be F. I see. We'll have to put something in here to change this later. I see where it's kind of um, doing its thing. What is this? F2. So just to show you guys, F2. We got a VLOOKUP. This is right. Spreadsheet name is bill of materials. We're looking up this name. And then we're going to inventory list. And we're grabbing 5 of 0. Oh, something's not right here, guys. Something's not right. What are we looking at? What are we missing here on the VLOOKUP? I think it is DF. Let's just do a sample VLOOKUP right quick. Can I get the formula, please? It's like, nope, no formula for you. Equals. The search key is this. Then the range is on this sheet. And the index. What do we mean, index? So that should be 3. There we go. Cool. Obviously we don't want that spread there, but should we change the name to bill of materials D12? There we go. Like that. Okay. So unit cost is 20 cents. That's 150 bucks. There you go. That's exactly what we want. All the way down. Right? And we want that first number locked in. That's why the thing is there. And the rest of it seems fine. Okay. So now let's play around with another price, right? This is looking real promising. Let's do the rack accessory patch panel and see if that price comes in. So patch panel is going to be under rack accessories. Give it a second to populate our item name, and we want the EMS, and there it is, 30 bucks for one of them. And look at the price tallying at the bottom. it looks good. Um, Now this quantity here, it doesn't, number of pieces, it just doesn't, might not sit well on how we have it priced. So I think doing it by the box is probably going to be the best bet on the Cat 6, just for what it looks like. Okay, so we're going to do 1.5 boxes. Okay, and we know the box is 169. This is looking better, right? Even though the pieces, um, can you really bill for a buck and a half for quantity? I mean, it's rounded up down here. Subtotal E36. Okay. I mean, that's right, but it didn't round up. Should we just do subtotal to round up? Or should we round down? Uh, That's neither here nor there right now. I really don't like how ugly that dollar sign is away from that. So let's go to format. Currency. Let me undo. What do they have it set to? I think it's custom courtesy? Currency? No. Somehow they got this way over here. Is it the justification? Right justified, maybe? I just don't like that dollar sign being so far over there. But again, we'll get to that. So computer setup. We're gonna call this 12 data drop install. Let's go 12 data drop slash that's okay for right now. That's okay for right now. Price is looking pretty accurate. Let's go ahead and clear out the rest of these quantities. Right, that takes us to 3.5. Now we know it's really, I mean, number of pieces, technically 3.5 is right. I'm not sure if subtotal is the right thing here. I like that they put the if error, then it just leaves it blank. But I mean, really, it should be an error. Costs UDM Pro. Did we put a price in for that? No. UDM 24 port is how much? Just make up a number of 700 actually. We know that. You're like, what? Is it 700? Yeah. Again, we're not installing this for them, but we do know that the 24 port PoE Pro is approximately somewhere in there. Switch Pro 24. That is not PoE. That's why that looks that way, by the way. Before you're all like, that's got to be it. No, no, no. Matter of fact, I don't even see it listed Here it is. Is this it? That's not the Pro. This is a Pro. Here it is. Yeah, see? $699. $700. So we just basically need to fill this all out. We really don't need final output, but we'll leave it for right now so I don't have to change any of the other code. But yeah, we'd basically just keep going down, filling this out, putting in the cost, the model, and see, that's what I like here. This is where we want the SKUs to go, hypothetically. Because you would want this switch to say something like unify, what's the name of it? Switch Pro 24 port, or you would want the brand name to be Unify, right? So you would have another, maybe one or two brand and model side by side, and then the name. And then that way on your final bill of materials, you could include the brand name per se. Do I think they really need to know it? I don't know. Let's look at the print preview. Oh, let's go ahead and add our signature block area. So I say right about here is good. We're just going to do an underline. Nice and thick, fat boy. In here we'll put, what will we put? I think we should merge those two. Like that. Format cell.
You're gonna murder somebody?
Merge something, yes. There it is.
Somebody's getting ready for bed. I heard that Xbox turn on.
Boy.
I gotta wake up early and go mow my uncle's yard. Sean, you don't even know what the fuck went on today.
What?
Okay, short story is my uncle ended up in the hospital.
Okay.
He's fine now.
One.
Somewhat. Did you see my new gun?
Rip.
Huh?
Rip.
What about it? What about its rip?
That's your
You
gun.
know how much it cost yet?
I didn't see your gun.
It's in admin chat.
Let me swap.
Well, the bottom one's my original gun that I still have right now. It's a 9mm.
I was about to say false advertising because it looks nothing like the picture you sent.
It's the two up top.
You get that gun from Wish? Is that
Which one?
no, the one, like false advertising one? Those are the same one.
Huh? Oh.
Nobody understands.
I paid it $300. I don't know what the fuck Wish is.
What?
I paid $300 for that whenever I first got it. Guess how much the other one cost?
Free?
Huh?
Well, I'm
I wish
sure
it was
it's not
free.
400
Okay,
or
it's a
500 because it's
1911.
limited edition.
It's a 1911.
Yeah, I've already looked at all of.
To see how much you spent today.
Especially it being a special edition.
Did you say 400 or 500?
Yeah,
No, higher.
special. You made it sound like you were gonna say not lower.
I wish. I would already had it home if it was lower.
That's what you get for buying a special edition.
Okay, let's see. Camber. 1911. 45 special edition.
Right back.
That's what you
Actually,
said last
I'm
time.
paying retail price for it.
Ow!
It's $1,000, by the way.
Print, and then we need a signature.
Nothing? Okay.
Yes, nothing. That's right. That's right. No one loves you. What?
That guy looks tough.
I didn't say that.
What?
Who said that?
And then I'm still also paying on a AR.
On an AR.
Yeah. It's a pistol AR.
Mm. We're missing something here. We're missing something. I'm not. It's like three things. Of course, he's not doing that. That'll be switched to
What
connectors.
is up and coming?
This would be connectors, and then some wall plates, some more connectors, because you're gonna need females. So we were doing this at what? We said 12 runs, right? More or less. So if we did something like this, and we said he needed females, and he needs, let's say, 12 female connectors. And then you're gonna need, oh, we don't have anything under wall plates yet? I'm guessing we don't.
Okay.
So wall plates would have this thing. One gang low voltage mounting bracket. I have to abbreviate that. Yeah. Like that. Low gain mounting bracket. Going back to bills of material. We definitely need a price in there. Somewhere here. Materials. Wall plates. And this was $3. Bill of materials. $3. Oh, because we didn't put a number in. Boom. But of course, we're going to need more than 3. Let's put that in for 12, even though I think it's 6, because they come General Electric, Commercial Electric. These come 2 to a pack. Yeah. Allows mounting of any 2 game, blah, 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 blah. It's crazy. It doesn't tell you how many comes in there. But we know it's 2. So you need 6 of those. Male connectors. RJ46 male connectors. That would come down if we're doing like patch panels, right? You're doing you're doing 6-inch or foot or 3-inch, but really 6 inches as low as you want to make a patch panel. This is a 3-inch. It's kind of a little too small to really, and too stiff. So half a foot is fine.
Generally like 3 inches.
Yeah, 3 inches is more than enough for most people. More than enough.
What is it?
But this is coming along just fine. This is kind of like where we want it.
Did I tell you about the thing? I called my brother right while he was at work,
Mhm.
and somebody was asking him if he's ever done anal before. Well, I could barely hear him, and all I heard is, uh, Beatty, you want to try anal? I'm just like, okay, well, you have fun with your anal. I'll call you later. How about that?
Mm.
He's like, what? My brother's like,
Mm.
what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, you're gonna go have anal at work, ain't you? I was like, have fun getting your cherry popped. And I hung up and he calls me back. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It was like, the person asked me if I've ever tried anal. I was like, what I heard, it sounded like he was asking if you was ready to get fucked.
Mm. Well, it'd be cheaper to make the patch panels. So what we'd do is we'd say something like, they're just gonna round up and say you need 2 boxes of Cat 6. You're doing 12 runs. That's 12 female connectors at each of the plate. That's 12 of those. But on the male connectors, that's 24 male connectors just for the patch panel. To go from the patch panel to your switch. Like that. Right? One patch panel, 2 boxes. So we're only dealing in whole numbers, but I mean really could be less
Did you
than
stop
that.
streaming?
Did I?
Yeah, 3 minutes ago.
No, it looks live to me.
It's sending me to.
Did you lose your connection? Let me see.
No, it was 12 minutes long. 12 minutes, 43 seconds long.
I'm showing that I'm still up. Dropped frame 0. I can go check YouTube right quick.
Did it start? Oh, you started a second one.
I did.
Oh,
I
okay.
stopped it because I don't know.
My
Oh,
bad.
it was telling me my stream encoder was maxed out or something like that.
Oh, okay, that's what happened then. My
And,
bad.
you know what's crazy is it shows 4 live, but on my phone it says 1 person is watching me. Let me close this on my phone and open it back up. Now it says 5. Yes. This
I
is
refreshed the page and it showed the live one. That's
yeah.
what happened.
This is the stuff that gets talked about, Tina.
Hmm?
Girlfriend's watching the stream. She's like, anal.
I didn't know you were streaming still. I thought it
I
was
was gonna
over.
mute it, but I was like, it's content. So I mean, I knew you weren't gonna say anything too crazy, so there was no point in stopping it. There was no
Basically,
point.
running joke all day today was I kept on telling him that if he wanted to talk shit once, I'd just tell my mom what he was talking about at work. Him doing that.
Mm. All right. So what else are we trying? Oh well. So we have some stuff that's not in MISC that needs to be there, which would be So we looked at, he was talking about a 6U unit. Let's go back to Amazon real quick. So 6U rack rails, okay, right here. And what this is if you're building, now you have an option. You can buy an open wall mount like this and mount it to your plywood backboard. It's already like, well, it's not pre-assembled. You're gonna have to assemble it when it comes in the box. But what's the pros and cons of an open versus a cabinet with a door? Okay, cabinet with a door like this one obviously is a little bit more, almost double what you're going to pay for an open one. You get the security of a key, meaning not everyone has access to go in there and reset the power switch, pull and unplug stuff, anything like that. However, the drawback is ventilation. If you leave that door closed or you leave the side panels on, it could potentially get toasty in there. There's an option, as you can see at the top, to add your own fan. It may come with a fan too in here. The other cool thing about this one is it's got rails in the back, as you can see. So if you have any type of halfway heavy device that needs to be mounted front and back where the ears aren't enough, or maybe you want to put it on a small slide out rails, you've got the rails in the back here to mount to as well. Now, like,
slide out a server tower.
so the depth, so the one we're looking at on Amazon right now has a max depth of 14 inches. Okay, now 14 inches is not nearly deep enough to, I think, even put the smallest server chassis in there. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back to Amazon and we're going to type in computer rack chassis. Okay, so looking at the depth of just like this one looks like a shorty, okay, but it's a 4U, so that's eating up more than half your case. This is a 17.8 deep, so it's just unfortunately too deep by 0.8 of an inch to go and be mounted in there. Plus you got these handles. Now I can tell you from experience, you can take those handles off and just leave the ears on there. But unfortunately, well, let me not say unfortunately. This would fit, but you're only going to be mounting it by these 4 screws on this side and the 4 screws on that side, and you're going to remove the handle so that you can close the front door of your panel, your patch panel, and it's not going to have any back support. These 3 holes in the side here, I can't really click and show you at the same time. These 3 holes are where you would mount a sliding rail or a standard rail. But again, because of that back, it'd be really tight. Maybe it's doable. I wouldn't give a thumbs up right now because I don't know. Now the open server equipment rack here, cheaper, quicker to assemble, and it has the opposite of the pros, which is there's no security to keep out other employees. Everyone would have access to it. But ventilation wise, it's kind of every piece of equipment for itself. And therefore there's nowhere to mount a fan on this one if you wanted to pull air out or across a certain device. Okay. The depth on this is 16 inches deep, so that's even less space to work with. And again, this is more so for, you don't want to put anything too heavy, you know, your switches, your cable modem, maybe a DVR for your security camera type stuff, okay? So now you have the last option. The last option is to build your own. And I want to pull this up to show you guys. This is the same company that makes all those other racks we just looked at. Okay, and this is kind of how you would build it. You would get you 2 pieces of wood, and you would fasten these rails to the wood using your own wood screws, and then you mount your equipment to it like a patch panel. I personally have done this. I didn't use 2x4s. I used 1 piece of wood to build the whole cabinet. Wrong website. Let me show you guys here on Home Depot. If I can find it. So, yes, we know they're closed. 19-inch. because I don't remember exactly what it was. What I can tell you is you could make a whole dresser out of it. It's more than this. Let's instead of project, let's type in no, we're not gonna find it
Yeah,
that way.
some go Taco Bell.
Well, that's my cue to go to bed. Gonna be eating that shit.
I'm gonna be firing all up in the microphone. I was sitting here recording.
Mm. Let's go by department
Okay.
here.
I'll forward it to friendly for you.
Forward it.
He's automatically added to the recipe list. Right?
Hey Sean, when are you going home?
He just started, literally, and now he's stopping to eat, so.
I mean, I've made $30 already. You know,
And how much are you spending at Taco Bell?
18.
18. Wow. So he's starting over. Got it. Got it.
Yep.
Got it.
He got
Hey.
$12 for gas.
It's still early, you know.
Yeah.
I would have already fucking been halfway through a tank of gas. And driving around for a fucking hour.
I've only used what 20 miles.
My point exactly.
Everybody make some TikTok.
How many miles to a gallon do you get though, Sean?
30.
Okay, I get like 18, 15.
Yeah, because you have a big old truck.
Yeah, that has a big block V8 that drinks gas. Well, technically a V6 drinks more gas than a V8. I can't find nothing to eat. You made me hungry.
Did
wanna
no
cook
such
anything.
thing.
Hey, friendly, you gonna come over and cook me something to eat?
Cook. This guy.
Crazy don't cook. What are you thinking? That's not true.
I was gonna say, I don't cook.
Exactly, right? Like waiting for him to catch himself. Mm-hmm.
He made those lamb chops that one time.
I did
That
not.
one
I
time.
didn't want to make. I didn't want to make the lamb chops. Hardwood boards. Here
You're
we go.
snitching on him. What the fuck, Sean?
He doesn't care.
My bad. He's a real man. He don't go in the kitchen.
Wow. Jesus.
See, friendly, this is what happens whenever you hang out with children.
All right, this is close. We're getting close here, guys. This is. I think it was an 8, but it definitely wasn't a 2-pack. It was 1 pack of wood. 12 inches. That's not wide enough.
Fuck, did she just scream into the microphone?
I don't know. I think he was talking to himself.
So how much is this? I don't even know. What do you call a thing of 12 tacos? The taco box or whatever? I don't fucking know.
The party pack.
Of course he knows. It's a
Sure.
party pack, yeah.
Hell yeah, I get it all the time.
I was about to say he
It's
just
cheap.
ordered it.
Nah. It's so expensive because I got 2 cheesy gordita crunches and 2 BB5 layers.
I don't know what the fuck either of those are, but okay.
The best things in the world.
No. Not even close.
The cheesy gordita crunch is a taco on drugs, and the beefy 5-layer burrito is a nuke for your asshole.
You said it was your girlfriend watching, right, friendly?
Oh.
Last I checked.
Your lady? Okay, I didn't know. She's gonna think this is funny as hell coming from probably the one that sounds the most redneckish in this thing, but you haven't tried sushi yet though, Sean.
Huh?
sushi's way better than fucking Taco Bell.
No,
Son of my sushi. I love
I can
sushi.
eat a little bit of it. Sorry.
I don't like sushi though.
It just depends on what's in the roll that you get, honestly.
Well, what bothers me is the seaweed. Or the
Well, see, that don't bother me at all, because
That's
you
the
can
best part.
buy. They started selling dried seaweed like that you just eat
it's
like they're
between
chips.
that. It's between that and the sticky rice.
I don't have a problem with the rice. I like rice, but let me forget what I was trying to make. I'm trying to make a sandwich. I couldn't even realize what I was trying to grab. What the fuck? There's turkey and ham in this damn thing?
Stop from coming.
I only want the ham. I don't want the fucking turkey. Get out of my way, turkey.
I can't find the thing that I used last time. Didn't I take a picture?
What's the next big holiday that's coming up?
Thanksgiving?
Halloween.
Oh yeah, Halloween.
I meant where there's food involved, not fucking candy.
Thanksgiving?
Halloween.
Really? Oh, never mind. There's a birthday party coming up. That's good food.
That's not a holiday.
This guy.
I don't care anymore. I'm just thinking of food right now. Actually, Thanksgiving is gonna be really good. We're gonna have turkey, ham, deviled eggs.
Yup.
I need this
You
skew.
don't like deviled eggs?
I said yup.
Double eggs.
I love deviled eggs. I
Sounds
just don't like
weird though. Okay. Do you eat your deviled eggs with relish in it?
Yes.
Sounds a crackhead. All right. You don't like it.
Oh, they're disgusting.
What? It's supposed to have
It
relish in it,
ruins the
though.
whole egg.
No, it does not.
Yes, it does.
There's even some powder that you put on top of it. Some red powder.
Yeah, it's chili powder. That's normal.
Chili powder.
Sushi versus Taco Bell. She strongly disagrees that sushi is better. She says bleh to sushi.
Cause she's from. I'm from Georgia. I can't say that shit. Is she from Georgia?
She's not from around here.
Well, I mean,
She's from
sushi ain't
North
around
Carolina.
Here, but
Sorry, Places.
Yeah.
I got family up there.
And also, was she in Florida?
Right, everybody's going to sleep.
I can't remember.
You going to bed when you get back? Gay.
I would be less surprised if there wasn't like a fucking sushi restaurant right next door. She's in Florida.
Everybody's going to sleep, so I don't know.
I'm making a sandwich.
What the fuck did Jashawn just
Face
say?
stuff burns.
Everybody's going to sleep. I don't know.
No, whoops about to eat. Who says who's going to sleep?
I
Sean
am.
did.
I thought
Said he
you
was
were
going to
making
sleep.
a sandwich.
I am making a sandwich.
I already turned the Xbox on. It's already decided.
The Xbox is on.
What do you do on the Xbox?
He
It's
puts
my
YouTube
nighttime
or
TV.
Netflix on and just lets it play all night.
You don't
No,
have a
actually,
smart
it
TV
turns
or
off.
like a Roku
It turns off in
thing?
like an hour for me not messing with it.
You don't have like a Roku thing you put on it?
I have a
He
flat
lives
screen. Just don't have.
He
I can
lives
get
in
a
the middle of
Roku.
nowhere.
I can get a Roku TV. I bought my mom one. I just don't want one. I have a fucking Xbox. Why can't I just use it?
It's against the law.
I don't use it for nothing else but fucking YouTube or Netflix. That's it. Bedtime.
There we go.
That's how y'all know
So
it's bedtime. For
this
me. Turn it on.
is 4 foot. They've got one like this that's a little bit longer at like 6 foot.
Let me see this.
I don't know where the 6 foot one is. But you want one that's 30 inches, 24 or 30 inches by 6 foot.
Screwed. What is that?
Hold on.
Yeah, that's 4 foot.
Yeah, it's 4 foot, but this one isn't long enough for what I'm talking about. There's one, I think this is a project panel, so this is where I was trying to find and look for. But there's one
See,
that is
Where you're messing up is you're at Home Depot.
Okay, but what I'm saying is this is like because like I imagine people are like trying to save money on building a network rack, right?
Yeah,
Now,
you're already off right there. You're at Home Depot. You ain't saving money at Home
okay,
Depot.
okay, but who look at the side of town that I'm on. Who's cutting the wood?
Who?
Okay, if I go somewhere else, how far do I have to travel to make to make a project panel to make a network rack?
Find that old man that's been holding up all the wood so he can build that thing for you one day.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, don't get me wrong, like
What dimensions are you needing on it?
so when I made the network rack, right? Something like this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna share the picture.
Man,
Um,
I'm looking at it.
no. I'm gonna share the picture in Discord so I can put it on the screen for everyone else. I made this out of one piece of wood, okay, that I bought at Home Depot, and I cut it myself. And the
Damn, I got my leg.
the question comes to which one is the cheapest version? Do you go to Amazon and buy a? I'm gonna send it to Sean so I can pull it up quick. Let me pull this up and put it on screen for everybody. Okay. This is all
Right.
from one piece of wood. Okay.
3 quarters.
I believe it was 6 foot. Okay. By 24 or 30 inches. Okay. That got me the back panel piece, the top, the bottom, and the sides. And all I did was take these rails and screw them into the side, 19 inches apart. Okay. So, with that being said, if you can find you a piece of wood, 97 bucks, this is 4 foot. Maybe you don't put a back panel on it because you're going to mount it to the wall, but it does help with mounting. Okay.
Yeah, because it gives you a spot to put screws into the wall.
Right.
Or
But at the
screws.
same time, so mine's not mounted on the back. Guess where I mounted mine? On the side wall. That's where I drilled my walls. I think there might be two in the back in a
It really
stud.
does depend on where you want it.
Right. You could
For
put it in the
where the
top.
studs
You can put it in
depend.
the bottom.
You can even put L brackets on the top and the bottom to hold it in place
Absolutely.
to the wall.
But again, for
Or
me,
the
if I
side.
can go straight into the, whatever. So let's just say that the piece of wood is $100 and the rails are $20, right? And this is for 6U rails. You're basically coming out about the same as a 6U open rack that you have mailed to you. Okay? So in here you're not using any wood screws to put it together. However, if you look at where you would be saving money is, let's say instead of a 6U, you did one like the one I built in the picture here, which is a 10U. Okay, so let's look.
I was gonna say yours looks a lot more like there's a lot more stuff you can do with it.
Let's type in 10U rails and see. Okay, so that's $26 for the rails. Okay, plus $100 for wood. Okay, now here we're not seeing a 10U, but you can kind of see the price between a 9U and a 12U. That's 140, 150 bucks for a 10U. Now at this point, my way is cheaper, right? 26 plus the $100 wood. I'm beating more or less. I mean, if you got screws laying around, I'm beating, and I have the ability to mount it to the sides, mount it from the back, mount it from the top, etc., etc. Okay.
Yeah, that if you have the screws laying around comes in a big difference
Hey,
because if you
hey,
don't, oh
hey.
man, you're
Well,
going broke right
no,
there.
no, no, no. We're talking about these screws right here. Look, we're talking about the
You ain't
screws,
talking about like
not to
5
mount it
screws
to
I
the
use at work.
side. Yeah,
Okay.
not lag screws and shit. Okay. Now
Oh, these are forks.
another option too at the bottom of this is you can put cut a circular hole and put a grommet in that hole to pull your data cables through. Okay.
Yeah.
But you just Google it up, anyone, and the dimensions that you need to make that work for you. Florida, no, so that you're from Florida, so I'm tired. I know it was North Carolina, and then you guys, where did you guys move before not Florida, before Jonesboro? Or was it Jonesboro your first coming to Georgia?
So what are those
Yeah,
divots on the back of your back panel then?
I'm glad you asked. So the
'Cause I see
divots,
9 of them.
right, three at the top, three in the bottom, three on the sides. Those are pocket holes, angled pocket holes.
Okay, that's what I thought you was putting screws right there.
I did.
So-
No, no, no. I put
Okay.
screws to hold it together. So I used
Okay.
wood glue.
I thought you would have done it outside, the screws. You would have put them from the outside
Nope,
onto it.
inside. Because once you put your network equipment here, you're not even going to be able to see back there. So the outside of my box has a very clean appearance. There's no screws visible from the outside.
Did you not have drill bits? Or the little bitty uh, shims that you put into the holes that you make with drill bits and like tap them together
You're
with
you're
a
talking about
permanent.
the wood. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, the
Yeah.
wood ones. But see, now you're talking about making furniture and shit. Okay, like I didn't
Dude,
have
this
time.
stuff
I
really
mean, I had
touches
time.
from your
Obviously, I had
head.
time because I did pocket holes, right? But
But the only thing with doing that too is you'd have to worry about the grain. It could easily split even with you just trying to drill it. Like you trying to put that wood shim
right,
in, it
right,
could
and it's
split
very
the wood to
shallow,
how thin
right?
it is.
So knowing that this is I think this is 3/4 inch project board. Um, it might be an inch.
Yeah,
So
it looks about 3/4
yeah,
inch.
yeah, it's never really an inch, even though it says an inch. But I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
this is the project board that I bought.
an inch
So
is 7/8, and their stuff.
right. So you've got um these pocket holes, the jig that comes with it, the Craig pocket hole, you adjust it for the 1 inch or the inch and a half or 3/4 depth of the wood. So it makes a perfect hole that's not going to go through the other side every time. Okay? So going back to our bill of materials, um, there's a choice. They can either go with an Amazon purchase 6U, 10U setup, and in this scenario, they could be saving 20 to 30 bucks, maybe not based on tax, and wait for it to show up in the mail. And you're still going to have to get big enough bolts or screws to mount it to your wood panel, okay? And you're still going to have to assemble it once you get it in the box. So you can do that, or you can buy rails, buy a piece of wood. And again, you don't have to buy this expensive piece of wood that I bought. You can do just what they did in the picture, which was mount it to some 2x4s real quick and mount those 2x4s standing off of your wood wall. I mean, literally with this setup here that they have, I bet you one 6 foot 2x4 you would be able to build a 6U rack and have it stand off the wall with some screws. To Hall Creek to Jonesboro to Henry. Asheville to Jonesboro Road. I don't know why I felt like there was another step
See,
before Jonesboro Road.
you was talking about how far away Home Depot or Lowe's is or whatever. I'm sitting here thinking Lowe's and Home Depot are right beside each other where I live.
Well, I mean, they're close to me, right? What I'm saying is if I'm not going to Lowe's or Home Depot and I'm going to a
Yeah.
lumber yard, you know what I'm saying, to get that piece of wood that's like a perfect dimension to cut and make your rack, then I got to hope that they're going to cut it for me. You know what I'm saying? So, because you take one of these project boards at Home Depot, you get a free cut or like two free cuts. And they've got the table saw right there and they'll cut it to whatever you want. Okay? So
Yeah, we aren't trusting enough left into that.
right.
We
Well,
do that
you know,
ourselves.
unless you're gonna rent materials or rent tools.
Yeah.
Um, so you know, for me, going back to bill of materials,
So
they
what is it for?
so this is so there's a gaming lounge, right?
Okay.
There's a game. I wish I had the thing here to
Well,
show.
I just meant the thing that you were showing your picture of yours. I honestly don't even know. I just knew it was talking about lumber and stuff.
This is hanging up now. So I'm gonna share another picture. I'm gonna use Sean again since he's not here. Let me get the
Supposed to
picture
be
where
going to sleep, and now I'm just sitting here trying to figure out what the fuck. So is this just basically like a routing system or whatever?
yeah, when you go to
Okay.
any restaurant, right? You go to any business that's an official business, okay? I'm gonna pull up the next
Official.
picture. Well, I mean, if they are an official,
Quotation marks.
I gotta zoom out. Okay, this is where you start to mount all the stuff for the registers and the phones and the cameras, right? For that business. This is the network
Okay.
rack. Okay, and then the network rack or that the exoskeleton one is usually mounted in the back of the store near the manager's office, right? So the gaming lounge, as the guy explained to me, is on average he thinks they need a 6U server rack. They have a switch already, 24 port like this one. They have a Wi-Fi router that's provided from Charter, I believe. It may have changed to Xfinity. And then he wants to do a Steam server. So you know, like with Steam, right? You can have a computer in your house or your gaming lounge that goes and downloads keeps all the games updated on itself.
Okay.
Okay, so instead, like, so say like in Sean's house, there's 5 kids, right?
Mhm.
If each of them had a computer and they're all playing Roblox and then Roblox has an update, that means all 5 computers have to download that 25 gig update individually.
Yeah.
Meaning that's 100 gigs, right? Or 125 gigs worth of data. You know, and your
To
ISP is going to be
try to.
like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So instead, if you set up a Steam server, the Steam server will go download the updates to Roblox, and then you tell your computers in the house, your Steams, go get the update directly from the Steam server. So it only gets downloaded once in the house. Okay? So he talked about wanting a Steam server. Now, in my opinion, I feel like one of these small Raspberry Pis here can run the Steam server off of a SSD. Okay?
I can see that because I do know what a Raspberry Pi is.
Absolutely. You see what I'm saying? Like you throw Linux. A matter of fact, let's Google it right quick. The Steam server Linux. I'm almost certain you can run it from Linux because I'm
I ain't gonna have a day off this week, basically.
mm, 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 mm. I don't know if it's called a game server. Dedicated server support. So the games have to also support dedicated server support. CS:GO, team, blah 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 blah. We would have to go and find if it's supported on Linux. He's on his leaf. Also, filter didn't keep bowl any cleaner. Is it a filter or is it
So
just
is
running
there
water?
is there people talking in your chat or?
No, I don't see anyone posting anything.
Okay, I thought that's where your girlfriend was talking. I kept on looking over there and I was like, I don't see
No,
shit.
she's Facebook messaging
Okay.
on Ubuntu. Steam server install on Ubuntu. Install Steam.
Out of here.
Here we go. Game server using your Ubuntu. Dedicated IP address should be purchased. Make directory. Multiverse. Install. Steam command install. No, it looks like you can. It looks like it should. So yeah, the computer that's running a Steam server doesn't need to be beefy because all it's doing is checking against the server for updates, or you can manually check and then you're going to, it's just going to install. Let me cut this off.
Well, it's fun learning this stuff with you, Friendly, but I'm really tired.
Yeah, bro. Go ahead. Kyle will be getting off soon.
I won't.
Yeah, he will.
No, he
just
won't. He
woke
woke up like 20 minutes ago.
Oh, Sean's home?
No. He just sounds clearer. Remember, he's there to use the bathroom. He's going back out.
Oh, Sean's here. What do you mean?
He's eating real quick.
Yeah.
He's at home.
Yeah, he's
He
eating
didn't
at
want to
home.
gas himself out in his car.
Wow. You
He
make
wanted to
that
go
joke.
gas out, huh?
You make that joke all by yourself.
Well, it's 1:24, so I'll probably be shutting the stream down anyway because we've
That's his bedtime.
progressed. Huh? Well, we've progressed pretty far in the spreadsheet. Like it's pretty much done. The only thing I have to do now is plug in prices for this stuff.
You started doing that like whenever I got home at like 10?
Yeah, and I was eating and I was doing a lot of stuff off stream before I even started it.
Oh, I
Just
know,
to
we was
say.
talking about it.
Yeah. So if only I could host somebody, but YouTube. So let's go full screen for a second. How about that? Let's go. Where's the
Well, y'all
face?
have a good night. I will be on sometime tomorrow.
Uh-oh. The
Alright,
face
good
one's
night,
not face one's not
Good
working.
night,
Where's the face? It's like it's not here anymore. FS face. Thank you. There we go. Okay. Can everyone see? Let me hit this button. Yes. All right. So, quick recap before we end the stream, guys. We quickly touched on a container, 2 containers. Here, matter of fact, where's the lobby? The lobby will show you a little better. So we touched on 2 containers. I'm gonna go back and show real quick. Watchtower, and we went to Homer, which is a self-contained container here, just serving up a web page where we have shortcuts to all of our other Docker containers. And what we did was we made sure that our web top, which is running, which is trying to run and serve at the same time, that we pulled up our own YouTube on it so that we could ensure, there it goes, so that we could ensure that we definitely did not put that in full screen. How dare they? Okay. Oh look, he put yeet in there.
Yeah, a
So
long time ago.
so we put that in. Oh, look at that. Look at that pop out in Firefox. This video is playing in picture-in-picture mode. Can I close? Nope, it closed both. Either way. So we dealt with this Docker a little bit. We made some quick changes to our configuration file for the Homer. And there's the donut right there. Okay. And then aside from that, everything was basically spreadsheet. Using Google Spreadsheets, we have now dynamic dropdowns in both the inventory master list where we can set prices, and then we have the end user. We do still need to set up a print sign in this area here. I think we just merge these three and put sign underneath it, and then do the same thing here. And see, Whoop was supposed to talk to me about this, but he was gone so long taking a poop, I forgot. So we were talking because he said he's not used to, and it made sense what he said. He's not used to customers having to sign off on the bill of materials because shit, they don't even know what half the stuff is. And I guess for me, the reason that I added it to the sheet was I didn't want to leave anything open to being, wrongfully identified where they weren't fully aware that it was going to cost or that, certain parts were going to cost whatever. So rather than, leave it to chance for them to try to rebuttal later on, I said, why not just have them sign? And therefore, there's just no way they could ever rebuttal it. There we go. That, to me, that's good enough. Let's see what the print preview looks like on that. Ooh, damn it, Anthony. Okay. Okay. Do we take like 2 of the lines out? Do we make the bill of materials smaller? 16 lines, huh? Let's remove that. And see the print preview. Oh, we're still close. Is there a way to set the print area here? Thought it was under view. Grid lines. Freeze group. Okay. Somewhere, I'm sure there's a way for me to view the print area. Set custom page breaks. Oh, that's how you do it. There we go. Beautiful, right? So this would be something that, and we'd probably put the date in there too, right? We'll come back and put, a date on the signatures so that this was all approved and everyone was in the know of what parts were going to cost right off the rip before we even talk about, because labor, you
Hey,
can
Sean.
you can estimate labor. Go ahead. Okay, you can estimate labor, but you could run into things that are
Well,
going to change labor up, labor
What are you doing?
down, days you can't access the site or whatever. But the price of materials shouldn't
Dude,
really
this is
deviate
normal.
from this. And with that, I think we will end the stream, everyone. And thank you for stopping by.